Remember when I said that I wasn't going to take another break? Welcome back 2 weeks later. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerso and today I am finally here with another TBR video. Now, the first TBR video I did was like the first ever one on my channel, like last September. And let me tell y'all how I read none of those books. I think I read like one, and then my mood reading tendencies kicked in and we just didn't read another book after that. That was on that TBR anyways. But you know, I decided to try again because I think I can do it this time. I think I am capable. I'm going to challenge myself to read at least 5 of these books on this TBR because I'm genuinely excited for all of them. It's just I don't even have an excuse except for this girl's a mood reader, and while I'm in the mood for these books right now, tomorrow could bring something different. But I just wanted to let you guys know basically what I would possibly be in the mood for April and share them just in case anybody wants to read with me or anything like that. I decided to film outside today because it's really nice out. So if you hear cars passing by, I don't know what to tell you. This TBR is so ambitious and I don't know what I'm thinking, but maybe I'll just read at the speed of light in April, I guess. We'll see. But I'm just gonna get started and talk about these books. Okay, so the first book that I hope to read in April is Truth Witch. There we go. By Susan Dennard. Jade from Jade Reads is doing, like, I forgot what it's called, where they read this entire series, and this is the March book, but didn't read it in March. But I am really interested and I want to read it in April before they do their live show discussion. So this one, I think we're in a world where there's like witches, and each witch holds like special powers and stuff like that. So we're following 2 main characters, I think. So the first one is Sophia, and she is a truth witch, so she's able to discern the truth from the lie. And then we also follow Asilt, who is a thread witch, and she can see the invisible ties that bind and entangle the lives around her. And I think this is like a little sapphic romance. Don't hold me to that because I do not know for sure. But these two spark a friendship, and they kind of want to get away from this world where there's lots of conflict and their powers are kind of used against them, like used as a pawn. So they're trying to make their escape, and it's like fantasy, so you know, lots of shit going on. That's what we're dealing with. So there's like lots of everything going on. Don't know if I did a good job describing this though, but do I ever. Next is a book that's like completely out of my comfort zone. I don't read middle grade, but this one has been making its way all over and I want to give it a try. Plus, hello cover. Hello Zolan. Hello. I love it. So this is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.D. Alston. I couldn't tell you what this book is about. I could not even begin to like scrape the surface. But the cover is pretty, the reviews are amazing, and I'm here for it. I plan on doing a 24-hour readathon this month, at least one of the weekends, y'all, hopefully. But this will definitely be when I read that. The next book that I hope to read in the month of April is one that I'm super excited about, and it's the Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Who, this one I've also heard so many great reviews for. This is a young adult fantasy where we follow our main character Decca, and we're in this world where when you reach a certain age you have to go do like a blood ceremony, and whatever color your blood turns out is like kind of your place in society. Decca, it's her turn for the blood ceremony, and her blood runs, okay, so on the day of her blood ceremony her blood runs gold, and that's the color of impurity. And then she meets this mysterious woman, and the woman's like, you can stay in this village and kind of basically die because her blood is seen as impure, or she can follow this woman to the different place and kind of use her gifts. So that's the gist of this, I think. I'm very excited about this one, and we're not, are you kidding me? This cover, I need to stop. The next book that I'm hoping to read this month is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I've been wanting to read this book since freaking November, and I don't know, I just was like never in the mood for it, but it's speaking to me now. It's calling out to me. Every time I look at my shelves it's like, read me. So you know what we're gonna do in April? We're gonna read Jade City. And I've mentioned before that I did start this one before, and I think I had like 50-ish pages in, but I was really enjoying what I was reading. I think I just was hitting a slump, so I didn't want to taint my enjoyment of the book by just not being in the mood to read. So in this book we are in this world that's kind of ruled by Jade, and there are people in this world who can handle the effects of Jade, and they're called green bones. So Jade gives them the ability to kind of have superhuman powers like superhuman strength and speed and all that jazz. So because only certain people are able to handle Jade, we have two gangs in this world who are, I forgot the gang. Okay, I forgot the name of the gangs, but there are two rival gangs that kind of control the Jade trade. So they basically control the entire city that they live in, and there is a new drug that's introduced called SN1 or something, and this drug allows people who aren't green bones to also be able to possess and handle Jade. And there is like gang rivalry, there is romance, there's everything in this book, and I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I also have the sequel Jade War, but I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm gonna read that this month, but I'm excited to finally read this. And then we have TheOne by John Mars, and I've had this book forever. It's one of the first books that I ever purchased, and I just haven't read it, but I'm motivated now because I saw that I saw that Netflix did an adaptation on this. So I'm the type of person, I like to read the books before I watch the movie or TV show or whatever. So I really want to read this so I'm able to read the book. Words are so hard right now. So that I'm able to watch the movie sometime in April. But didn't tell you at all what this book is about. So in this one, a like DNA test kind of can match you up with your soulmate, or not like a DNA test will match you up with your soulmate. So I think we follow like 5 people as they get their soulmate results, and just like, I don't know, like if the DNA test was right, if it wasn't, or I know that like one person gets matched up with like a serial killer, and I'm just like, that's kind of odd. I'm so excited to read this, to finally read this. I don't know like what genre this falls in. Like it could be like a thriller, but I don't want to go into it thinking it's a thriller and be disappointed. So I'm just gonna have the lowest amount of hope for this book. The next book that I hope to read this month is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, and to be honest, I know jack shit about this book. Absolutely nothing. You could not pay me enough money to know what this book is about, because I don't. All I do know is that it is fantasy romance, and I've been in like a huge romance kick, but like I want to devour fantasy books now. Like I'm in such a fantasy mood, but I still want the angst of a romance, okay? So I want to read this, and I really hope that this is actually fantasy romance. If it's not, can somebody tell me? Did I say the title of this book? It's Fallen Kingdoms. So if this is not a fantasy romance, somebody please let me know, because I just don't want to be disappointed. Okay, so I have 3 more books on this incredibly long TBR. When on average I read about like 5 or 6 books a month, so I don't know like what's going on in my head, but we're doing this. The next book that I want to read is one that, oh god, I suck at completing series and reading the second book of series, but this, I read the first book in March. March. I read the first book in March, and my god, I have a reading vlog for the first book going up sometime this month, but the next book I want to read is The Obelisk by N.K. Jemisin. I read the 5th season earlier in March, and fuck, that book was amazing. I'm not going to get too much into it because this is not about the 5th season. This is about this book. So this is the second book in the Broken Earth trilogy, and in the first book we follow we're in a world called the Stillness, and in the Stillness they get the regular 4 seasons, but every couple centuries or so they get the 5th season, which is when the earth basically erodes in on itself and like a complete blackout, like basically shit just dies and hits the fan. Okay, so then we have the people called the Origins, and they use their powers of like kinetic energy almost. They get their powers from like the thermal energy and stuff like that that's around them in the world around them, so they can feel earthquakes and kind of settle them down, or like if they get angry they kind of like can bring about an earthquake. And in this world of the Stillness, the humans are really scared of the Origins because they feel like they're very dangerous and they need to be controlled. So the Origins are controlled in this place, or like kind of trained and controlled in this place called the Fulcrum, and we kind of follow 3 main characters as like we just followed their journey, and that's all I'm gonna say because that's all you need to know before you read the 5th season, and it's amazing. And it ended in such a way that I just went out right away and bought the next 2 books, so I'm excited to see what happens in this one. N.K. Jemisin is a phenomenal writer. Amazing. Amazing. This is now an N.K. Jemisin stan account. We love to see it. The next book that I really hope to read in the month of April is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is for, I think this is an April book pick for the Crusty Book Club hosted by Chanel Time. I'll link all the details of that in the description box below. I don't know anything about it except that it takes place out of space, and it takes place out of space. I cannot talk today. It takes place out of space, and we have this main character who needs to kind of deliver a person to another planet, but this person, I don't know if he's seen as like dangerous or anything like that, and it's kind of following their journey through space. I don't know. I don't know, but this is a fantasy sci-fi type thing, and I've seen amazing reviews for this. I really want to read this so I can be able to watch the live show of the discussion of this book. So the last book that I hope to read this month is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. So I read Renegades like I think 2 or 3 months ago, and that was the first book in the series. This is the second, and like I said, I'm really bad at completing or continuing series, so I really want to make more of an effort to put sequels and stuff on like my immediate TBR so I don't forget things that happened in the first book. But in Renegades we follow we're in like, it's like an urban fantasy type world where superheroes exist, and they are basically the government in this world, so they make the laws as well as policing and everything like that. And we follow our main character, one of our main characters, Nova. She kind of has a gripe with these the renegades, especially with the like 5 main renegades. I think they're called the council. She blames them for something that happened in her childhood, so she wants to get revenge on them, and she kind of infiltrates the renegade headquarters and inserts herself to kind of break them up from the inside. And then she meets one of the renegades. I think his name, I forgot his name. What's his name? Adrian. Okay, and Adrian is one of the renegades, and she starts to really fall for him, but it kind of conflicts with her wanting to kind of, you know, rip apart the renegades. So there's like a little bit of romance, like kind of forbidden romance type of thing. But I really enjoyed the first book. I felt like there was a lot of plot holes for me, and the writing took a little while to get used to. But this guy is so rude. How dare you drive while I'm filming? But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I really enjoyed the first one. Felt there was like a little bit of plot holes, but I enjoyed the 2 main characters, and the ending had me very intrigued to go on. So I really want to pick up the second book and read it. Okay, so these are all the books. Oh my god. I don't know who I think I am, but these are all the books that I hope to read. That I hope to read in the month of April. I don't know, but I'm really excited about all these books. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like sprinkle in a little bit of romance novellas in there, because I find that once I offset like regular size novels with novellas, I read a lot quicker because I feel like I'm finishing books faster. So it's a great motivator, great tip if you guys needed any. Nobody asked, but I gave it anyways. But this is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and tell me if you've read any of these books, if you enjoyed them, what's the tea, like leave it in the comments, let me know, and I will see you guys with another video soon. Bye.